Hey guys, DriShadowFox here, and today I'm going to be doing the 16 personalities free personality test, and I think I have chocolate on my face. Oh, it's fabulous. Oh, oh. Or no, wait, is that just mustache, or is that fabulous? Anyways, so before I get started, I want to show you guys something, and I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it properly or not, but I just got a new Harry Potter tattoo, and it's Deathly Hallows is an A, and it says always. And my mom also just got her first tattoo, which says Faith, and now I can put hers next to mine, and it says Faith always, and it's awesome, and I love it. But anyways, so today I'm going to be doing this free personality test, and I took it once before, like I want to say almost 6 months ago now, and pretty much what it's going to do is it's going to determine it'll tell me a little bit about my personality, and there's a bunch of different types, like they sort it. Like there's analysts, there's diplomats, there's sen, sentinels, and explorers. What is it? Sentinels. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. So last time I think I got the logician, but I wasn't being completely honest with myself or anything. I don't remember anything about it, and I have changed a lot over the past 6 months. So I'm going to take this test, and I'm gonna figure out what I actually am, and like actually, see how much I've changed. Maybe I'll end up the same. Maybe I won't. So there are a couple of rules. It's supposed to take less than 12 minutes. Answer honestly, if even if you don't like the answer, and try not to leave any neutral answers, which I'm gonna do. I think that might have been my problem last time. I did leave a couple of answers like right in the middle. So, okay. First one is you find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people. Um, I actually have a very bad anxiety issue, so I'm going to agree a little bit. I do have issues introducing myself to other people on my own. But if I'm, for example, if I'm with a friend or something and they introduce me to another friend, I'm usually okay. So I'm just like, hi, I'm Dre. Yeah. You often get. Oh, that's fabulous. You often get so lost in thought that you ignore or forget your surroundings. I'm gonna mostly disagree because that rarely ever happens with me. Um, I ramble, but I don't get lost in thought. So I'll put a little bit of disagree. You try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox. Most of my emails are spam emails, so I usually go in and delete a lot of them. But yeah, I kind of agree. I don't ever really respond to any of my emails. Like right now, the most emailing I'm doing is emailing my editor, just like videos to cut, and emailing my tattoo artist the next part of my sleeve, because I'm actually going to be making a sleeve, and that's the most I've used my email in the past 6 months. You find it easy to stay relaxed and focused even when there's some pressure. I tend to stay mostly relaxed and focused, but if there's some pressure, I'm usually pretty good. But if not, like I'm a mess. So it's not overly easy, but I kind of agree because I do stay relaxed when there's pressure. So you do not usually initiate conversations. Completely agree. I am so bad at keeping a conversation. I've actually been wanting to talk to the person who did my photo for YouTube. He's a friend of mine, and I want to talk to him all the time because we get along and everything. Just I'm really bad at initiating conversations, and so is he. So we never. Half the time I'm like, oh, I should message him, and I forget or I just don't do it because I'm too nervous. I don't initiate conversations. I don't even finish conversations. Like, geez, you rarely do something just to assure you that is BS because I actually do a lot of stuff just like, oh, I wonder how this is going to work out. I feel superior. Completely and utterly disagree. I do not feel superior to other people at all. No. Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable. I completely disagree. Again, because, well, not completely disagree. I'm going to do the little one. Because being organized is important to me, but being adaptable is more important to me. Both have importance, just I'm more adaptable than organized. Like, I can adapt and, bam, push out 4 videos today and be set for for a day or two, rather than being organized and actually scheduling properly. Because, you know me, I can't keep to a schedule. You're usually highly motivated and energetic. I'm not. I'm not all the time. I am every once in a while, so I pretty much disagree. What I am highly motivated in that, it's a part of bipolar. Like, I do have my highly motivated and energetic days, and then other days I'm just like, I am going to lay here on this couch and streamline The Simpsons all day. And then that's about it. It's one or the other, and there's no in between. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. I'm not a big debater. But I'm going to put slightly disagree, because sometimes in a debate, somebody's trying to debate the truth and somebody else is trying to debate fiction. And when they're trying to debate fiction, it shouldn't really matter if they get upset as long as you're backing up with truth. So I'm kind of like, you should win a debate if you're being factual. You got to make sure you have all your facts straight before you sit here, drive it home, and upset somebody. But it's better to have the truth and upset somebody than to not be sure and upset somebody. Like, that's, if that makes any sense. You'll often feel as if you have to justify yourself to other people. Not everybody. Honestly, I only feel like I have to justify myself to certain people. Like, for example, my family. I always want to be able to be like, well, I'm doing this for a reason. I am doing this for a reason. What I am doing is with purpose. I'm not sitting here and futzing around and, I'm here for a purpose. I am doing this for a purpose. It's what I'm doing is important, and you guys have to know that kind of thing. But it's just with my family. It's not with anybody else. Like, my family should know, kind of thing. I know that sounds kind of weird, but, like, I do have to justify myself, but not really. It's only one little group of people, so I mostly disagree. Everybody else can kind of go bugger off. Like, I don't have to justify myself to anybody else. But I feel like I have to with my family, because they're my family. They should know what's going on, kind of thing. Your home and work environments are quite tidy. No! Literally sitting in front of me right now, I can see my shot glass, my honey bun, my first aid cream. I can see peanut gallery cell phone. There's a can there. There's not your phone, not like your actual phone, the little smart talk phone thing. There's another shot glass there. There's 2 empty cigarette packs. There's a set of headphones. There's a nylon stocking. There's one of my old phones. There's cigarettes and tobacco all over. There's Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I see books. I see glue. I see our change jar, which is a giant ass pickle jar. I see straws. I am looking at a box of straws. My home, and this is my home and my work environment. It is not tidy. It never will be. That's just how I am. I don't know why, but I'm more creative when I'm not perfectly cleaned up. I mean, granted, yes, I do need to pick up a little bit, but it's not. I'm gonna do this one because it's not. Oh well, everything is a pigsty. It's just, I need to pick up, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, I don't mind that the shot glasses are sitting there. I don't mind that the first aid cream and the honey bun, which is wrapped, are sitting there. I really kind of want to pick up, like, the cans and stuff, but that's, that kind of thing. I don't have organization. I don't mind being at the center of attention. I very much so disagree. I don't, if I'm in a room of people, I don't want to be the center of attention. I don't. And sometimes it's really tough when, like, I've been in a room of people and I said something about starting up my own YouTube channel. Flocked. Everybody was curious. Oh, how do you start? How do you start? And I'm like, no, no, back up, please, please, please. I do it to people. Like, I can handle doing people, but I can't, you know, especially because I was alone at the time. Like, I kind of got flocked. And since I was alone, I kind of started having a panic attack, and I was like, oh, crap. That's why if I ever get big enough to go to a meet and greet, I will have somebody with me. A friend, a family member, somebody will be with me and I won't be going in alone. I can kind of handle being the center of attention if I'm not doing it alone. Therefore, I'm not technically the center of attention, so mostly disagree. You consider yourself more practical than creative. Oh, disagree. I'm a very practicality doesn't matter with me if I could get creative, but like I'm gonna again a little bit disagree because I do have a practicality to me. Like there's a method to my madness. I'm gonna put it that way because that's the best way to put it. People can rarely upset me. When people upset me, it lasts about 5-10 minutes, and it's like, oh, this little asshole disliked my video. Oh, 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 what a dick. And that's about it. So, yeah, people don't tend to really get under my skin anymore. They used to, but the past 6 months, it's changed a lot where people don't get as under my skin anymore as they used to. I've been able to kind of tune some people out that try to, so I'm usually pretty relaxed with people who upset me, so it's like, your travel plans are usually well thought out. Well, let's see. The last time I traveled, like on my own, and I wasn't like coming home, I was going somewhere, I went with my friend. We had no idea what we were doing. We had no idea how long we would be staying. We ended up moving out there. We ended up actually living in our car for a little while, which was interesting. So, no, my travel plans are never well thought out, unless I'm going short distances. Like, if there's a day where I'm like, I travel for family and friends, if it's short distance, I am very well thought out. But if it's long distance, I don't goddamn think about it. But I travel short distances a lot more than I travel long, so I'm going to go with a little bit of agree. Because usually I'm pretty well thought out. It's often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. I highly disagree. I can usually relate to other people's feelings fairly well because I've been through a lot of shit. So, oh, well, I lost my grandmother, I lost, a grandparent or a great grandparent. I'm like, I can understand, dealing with I've been through a lot, so I can relate to how other people feel. I have a lot in my life that I could be like, well, I was in a similar situation. I know the feeling. I apologize. I'm here for you, let's get you feeling better, you want to go out for ice cream kind of thing to make people feel better. So I can relate to other people's feelings in one way or another, and I'm really good at relating to other people sometimes. Your mood can change very quickly. It can. So I'm going to be in the agree spectrum, but it doesn't necessarily do it all the time. I actually, like I said earlier, I have bipolar, and like my mood can change very quickly. But as of late, it hasn't been like I'm kind of in between. I'm not taking any medication for it right now, and like after I got off the last medication, I've actually been fluctuating. Depending on the situation, I've been fluctuating less. So my mood hasn't been changing as much. But like it can change pretty quickly if something bad happens. Like for example, if like I have the whole day planned out and like Peanut Gallery over there is supposed to come with me to go here or there, and they can't for some reason, then yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit sad or something. Or, I'm going to be a little angry or disappointed, but it's not that bad. It's just like, okay, whatever, I'll get over it. It's not a big life changing event. So yes, my mood can change quickly, but not as much as it has in the past. I've actually gotten a pretty good hold on my bipolar without the medication at this point, so that way I can, if I'm in between, I can just, kind of mellow myself out for a little bit until I'm ready to go on another one and actually try something different, because some of the medications that I've dealt with, they're terrible. The one I dealt with, I was a zombie, and then the other one just, it wasn't enough, and I didn't want to up the dosage because I was afraid that even if I did, it wouldn't be enough. And it's kind of like, so I stepped away from both of them, and I'm like, okay, I'll find the right one. I need a little bit. In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. Yes. The truth should always be more important. Like, the truth, my voice is cracking. That sucks. I think that the truth should always be more important than people's sensitivities, because, as I said earlier, the truth, even if it would upset someone, the truth should be hammered in. Oh, well, the sky is blue. Well, no, it's not. I don't think it's blue. I think it's a shade of teal. Well, dude, it's blue. Like, if you're looking at the sky and it's blue, it's blue. And it's not an actual shade of teal. I don't want to get into politics. I'm not getting into politics. I'm walking away. Next question. You're really worried about how your actions affect other people. I disagree with this. I always think of other people before I do. And, like, there's been some situations where my actions, I haven't had a choice on my actions, and I've kind of affected other people negatively lately, and it wasn't me. Like, it was just a bad situation, and, like, the situation went a different direction than I thought it would. And, like, I was really upset with myself that I had affected other people because, fate always seems to kick me in the ass. And it kind of sucked, but, like, I always worry. I always worry about it. My work style is closer to random. Yes. Yes, my work style is definitely more random energy spikes than organized. Because I'll sit here and I'll make videos up through. I did this Monday. I made videos up through this morning. And then didn't do a goddamn thing till right now. Like, I'm making this at 1:26, so you guys are going to see this in like 4 hours. So, yeah, definitely agree. I'm often envious? No. Well, a little bit. But I'm not envious for material things. I am definitely not envious for material things. It's emotional relationships that people have with other people. Like, for example, my friend and his girlfriend right now, they have like this very balanced out relationship, and it's like the way that they have it balanced out, even though they never see each other, like it's great. But I wish I could have that kind of thing, like, in a relationship where it was just so balanced out, and like they could go without talking for a week and they're fine. I can't understand how they work with that. I'd always have to, like, I have this compulsion to message people and be like, hey, how are ya? And it's not even just that. It's the same friend. He has another friend of his who they could go a month, 2 months, they could go 6 months without talking, and the moment that they see each other again, everything's the same. And I never feel like it is if something like that happens with me. So it's like the relationships with other people, it's like I wish I could have that good of a relationship with other people where I'm not nervous that they, hate me because we've been talking straight for like a week and then I don't hear a damn word from them. Kind of thing. But, maybe at some point I'll be able to actually, like, find somebody that I could do that with, because I really, like, I only have one person that I could kind of do that with, and even then, he and I have both been so busy, we don't talk to each other for 6 months, and it sucks. Anyways, an interesting book or video game is often better than a social event. Completely agree. I don't. Books or video games. I choose that over people. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. I agree with it. I don't develop and stick to plans, but I agree with it. So how do I answer this? Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part. So I agree, just I don't do it. I agree, but I don't stick to it. You rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas, which is true. Because every time I have like a fantasy or an idea in my head and it doesn't work, I end up disappointed, and I don't want to deal with that again. You often find yourself lost in thought while you're walking in nature. Oh yes, yes, my thoughts go everywhere if I'm walking in general. If someone does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong. A little bit agree, because I've actually had it happen before where I worded something weird, and the person who read it, like, they thought I was strange with the way I said it, and then I rephrased it for them and they were like, "Oh," and they left me on scene for like, a week, and I was like, "Oh shit. What did I do? What did I do?" As a parent, you would rather see your child growing up kind than smart. So I get one or the other. Because I don't want one or the other. Because the kids that, like, I don't have kids of my own. I won't ever have kids. I don't think I might have kids. I might adopt one day. But as a parent of, like, the kids that I have, seen grow up, like, if they were my kids, they're kind and smart. And I'm talking about my siblings. They're kind and smart. And it's like, I got very, very lucky that they are that way because, all five of them are. And two of them I didn't get to spend as much time with two of them as I had with the other three. Because I was raised alongside the other three, and then the other two, like my one sister, I didn't even know about her till I was 16 or 17. And then the brother who is, they're both my father's kids. I don't see him as often as I should because every single time that, like, this is on me. Like, every single time that I've wanted to see them, it's like they're long distance, or, I have bad timing and I miss them, or, it's something like that. And it's like, my bad timing has made it so I haven't seen him as much as I want to. You know what I mean? But all of them have grown up kind and smart. All of them have. All five of them. And I was lucky enough to see three of them grow up kind and smart like that. You know what I mean? I've been, my other sister. I've gotten to meet her once, and I talk to her on almost a regular basis, and I'm sure she's watching this. And she, I've only known her she's 19. I'm 23. It's been like 7, 8 years now. Something like that. I don't know, my math is bad. But, I've gotten to see her grow up a little bit now, and I'm so proud of her for growing up kind and smart. And I'm glad that her mother is a kind and smart person, too, And just the same thing with my other brother, and just like all of the kids. I'm so proud of all of them, and I'm glad they grew up both. I don't think I could just pick one. And I think this was the last time, was one of the issues that I had, because right here was where I started going neutral. So, I would rather see them grow up kind. But I would also like them to be smart. So I'm going to very lightly agree with this. I would rather them grow up kind than smart. But I got lucky enough to have, if I don't have kids, they're the only kids I'm ever going to have, kind of thing. Like, I got to see kids grow up, kind of thing, Like, I got to help these kids grow up. I still kind of am. I'm still kind of around. I get to be their big brother, and I get to do, like, I just took three of them out for ice cream yesterday. I get to spend time with them and stuff like that, and it's like, Yeah, I'm glad they grew up kind rather than smart. Because honestly, especially with yesterday, kindness was a very big thing yesterday. So anyways, I'd rather kind than smart. I'm rambling, I'm sorry. You do not let other people influence your actions. I don't tend to. I tend to choose my own path, but there have been times where I have let others influence my actions. Like recently, no, not really. I've not let other people influence what I've chosen to do, where I've chosen to stand. I've stayed true to me lately, and that's a good thing with influencing my actions. My dreams tend to focus on the real real world events. Yeah, I highly disagree because my dreams are usually crazy or overly lucid, and I can't like. And of course, there's the one recurring nightmare that I have. So it's like, no, none of them are based on the real world and its events. They don't focus on them. They're in real world places, but they don't focus on them. So, no. It does not take you much time to start getting involved in social activities at your new workplace. Disagree. Disagree. Because usually in my, like, every place I've worked, like in retail and stuff, usually it takes me at least a month to start talking to most everybody. And even then, I don't do social activities. Like I've worked for Walmart before as a cashier, and I've done it 3 different times in 3 different locations. And the last one that I was at, like I was there around the summer, and like they were having a Fourth of July thing, or no, what's the holiday before Fourth of July? Well, we were having like a cookout or something like that, and everybody was like, "Oh, well, you're gonna be here. Do you wanna?" It starts right after you get out of work. Do you want to, hang out and stay? And I could have. I didn't have to pick my brother up that day because my dad was home. And I was like, nope, no thanks. I'm going to be busy. Like, immediately, without even thinking about it. I was like, nope. You're more of a natural improviser than a careful planner. I improvise more than I plan. My emotions control, no. No, my emotions do not, no. Well, a little bit. A little bit, yes. A little bit, yes. At times, yes. I gotta think about this from like both points of view, both manic and depressive. So, you enjoy going to social events? No. That involve dress up or role play activities? Yes. That's a different ball game. If I were, for example, going to a Comic Con or something, I would be dressed up as Deadpool, where nobody could tell who I was, and I would literally be conging with other Deadpools. Yes, I would do something like that. So if you ever see a fat Deadpool running around, there's a small chance it's me. You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. I do, and there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it because I used to write in my spare time, and I've actually been picking it up a little bit more. And I explore unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas when I'm thinking of stories, which is on more of a regular basis now. So I have been often spending time thinking about it. You would rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan. A little bit agree. I also like that I would rather improvise, but I can also come up with a detailed plan. You're relatively reserved and quiet. Reserved? Not really. Quiet? Not really. You gotta get to know me first, though. If you get to know me, I am not. No. So I'm gonna do it in the middle because I'm reserved and quiet around new people. But once you get to know me, I will be the most sailor talking, loud asshole that you will ever meet. If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees. It would depend on the employee. Because, like, for example, right now if I had the money to pay him, he would probably be doing it, like, every day for me. Like, I would like him to. But for, like, the perfect example would be my editor. And the thing is, he overperforms. But if something were to happen, and like, cause he's loyal AF, like he's in general a very loyal, very good person, and If he were loyal and like still doing it every day, but he wasn't living up to his potential with the editing that he does, because I know he has the potential to do it. I know he does. He's one of my best friends. I know he do. I know his capabilities. We've talked about them, and it's like, dude, holy cow. If he were underperforming, I would keep him on, but I would talk to him about why he was underperforming, because that's the type of boss I would be. I wouldn't just throw somebody out for being underperforming. But, if they were an asshole, I'd be like, okay, you know what? You're getting strikes. You need to stop, snarking at other employees. Like, not, like, there's good snark and there's bad snark. And if you're bad snarking at another employee, no. No. Stop it. Stop it right now. Stop. But so, like, if he was underperforming, I'd check and make sure something wasn't wrong first before talking to him about and being like, look, you need to step your grade up or you're leaving. I know you're very loyal to me. I know you do a very good job, but you're underperforming. I need you to step. Like, if I could actually pay him, that's what I would be doing. He's currently taking care of my edits for me. Uh, Not exactly pro bono, but like, I don't even think pro bono is the word I'm looking for. He takes care of my edits in his spare time when he's got the free time, which is why you guys don't see a shit ton of his edits for now. But his edits are very good, and just I don't think I'd have to worry about that with him. But yeah, I would have it. I would find it a little difficult because I'd have to talk to them about it first. And like I used my editor as an example because he's honestly a good example of the exact opposite. Like he's loyal, but he's highly overperforming. Even though he isn't able to get a lot out to me. But, he's got a whole other life outside of editing my shit. So, like, seriously. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence. A little bit, yeah, actually. I do. I contemplate the reason for it. I contemplate why we were made more intelligent than other species, but hey, shit happens. That's the nature of evolution. So, like, and I believe a little bit in evolution, and it's like, with evolution, it's like, yeah, we just did it more intelligent, We got lucky. And why was it us and not the dolphins? Why was it us and not the bumblebee? You see what I mean? Like, I'm curious about stuff like that, but I don't contemplate it very deeply. I contemplate it, but not deeply. Logic is usually more important than heart when it comes to making important decisions. Yes and no. Because logic would be, even if I became a big famous YouTuber, like, and I'm using my editor again. Logic would be my editor just doing what he can, editing wise, and keeping the job he's in. If I became a big famous YouTuber, like, doing, like, both, but still keeping his other job, Hart would be leaving that job and coming in just working for me. I would want him to think logically more than Hart, which is the same thing I would do. Like, I would logically be like, hey, I'm doing YouTube, but it's only like, I've only got like 30,000 people, and Doodle, what are you doing? Hey, you okay? She was just kind of staring at the floor, so I was making sure she didn't, like, space out of me or nothing. But, yeah, I would definitely say, like, more logic over heart, but, like, if he believed in me enough that, oh, well, we're at 300,000 or something like that, and he's like, I really think you can do this, I'm gonna go with my heart, I'm gonna take the sleep, I'm coming on full time, that would be great too, but I'd want him to think logically first, and it would be the same thing I do. Like, I would logic over heart. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list. You should keep your options open always. Always. Even if, for example, you're climbing up the ladder through a job. Like, let's say you work at a convenience store and you want to climb up to being one of the co-owners of the convenience store chain. and you start out as a peon, and your to-do list is, I want to climb straight the fuck up. That's your to-do list. But you also have another option to go into, and there's actually a chain of Kroger's. Kroger's does this. But if you want to, like, say go from one of their gas stations to one of their stores as an open option and climb up through there, you should always keep your options open. Because who knows, you could become a store manager or, a CEO slash co-owner of a couple of the store. Who knows? You should always keep your options open. Always, always, always. If your friend is sad about something, you're more likely to offer emotional support than suggest ways to deal with the problem. That's a tough one for me because I do both. If my friend is sad, I will both offer emotional support and suggest ways to deal with the problem. But which one would I do more? I would probably offer more emotional support because that's just how I do. The first thing I would do is, hey, I'm here for you. Screw them, screw that. I know this situation's bad, etc., etc. I'd be there for them emotionally first. And then after that, I suggest ways to deal with the problem. So emotional support comes first. You rarely feel insecure. I highly disagree. I disagree. I feel insecure about a lot of things, especially my channel and where it's going. Like, I'm highly insecure about one of the biggest aspects of my life, one of the biggest things that makes me happy. I feel insecure about it because I don't know where it's going. Is this going to stay at 81 subscribers until I'm 100 and I'm never going to get to do anything else with it? Maybe. I'm a little nervous about that. But at the same time, with the rate that I've been growing, I'm not. But, there's other stuff that it's like, I'm also insecure a little bit about my transition. Am I going to go through all this and look like a bald, ugly bastard? I don't know. I'm a little insecure about it. But hey, there's always hats. I just got a laugh from the peanut gallery, so I know it did it good. You have no difficulties coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it. I disagree with that because I can come up with a personal timetable, and if it's just for me, I don't stick to it. I don't stick to it if it's just for me. If it's for other people, I do. If it's for me, no. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. When it comes to teamwork, disagree. Being right is not more important. If you're right and your team wants to work on your idea, that's great. If you're right, if your team's not right and they disagree with what you're doing, not what you're doing, but your choices. Like, say that the goal is to stack a display, and you have to work together as a team of 3. And your idea is the correct idea. But the other two want to do the other idea first to see if it works. What's going to be quicker? You guys stacking it up all together and getting it wrong and then trying again? Or you guys fighting for, the span of both times that you could have built it up, brought it down, built it up again, and then building it the way that you want? Being cooperative is more important. Because even if you get it wrong, everybody takes the bulk of that responsibility. Everybody works together and fixes it. It brings a team together. It makes things better in the end. So no, being right is not more important than being cooperative. You think everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they are supported by... No! Everyone's views should not be respected if they're not supported by facts. Because if you're going to sit here, for example, homosexuality and being transgender, it's wrong and it's immoral and blah, 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 and you have no facts to back it up? Oh, well, it's in the Bible. Show me where it is. Can you show me factual evidence from the Bible that it's wrong? You can't. If you can't, then what's the point? Why are you sitting here expecting me to be respectful towards you when your facts aren't facts? They're bullshit. Why am I going to sit here and be like, oh, well, I guess I'll go back well, I'm already, as you guys know, I'm a flaming homosexual, and, I'm trans, and I'm not going back to being, cis and straight because, somebody else, out of respect for somebody else, because they think they have their facts straight, and that's not the case. No, I'm not gonna support everyone's views. I'm not gonna support Like, I know some people think that, pretty much, which I've actually heard somebody say that they think this works. That they can hook a car battery up to somebody's nipples and they can electrocute them into being straight. That's your views, but I'm not going to respect them because that is not supported by facts. I'm sorry, no. You're not hooking me up to car batteries. No. No. So no, I don't. I don't. You have to have some fact. Please show me some facts. You feel more energetic after spending. No, I don't. I feel more energetic after spending time with like one person. There's only one group of people that, I actually feel, which I say group of people, I don't count my family. I only feel energetic after spending time with one group of people, and it's not a lot of people. It's like one, two, three, it's like four people. And I don't even spend time with all of them at once. I don't. I usually feel drained when I go home, too. It's tiring. Being around a lot of people is tiring. Especially going to the store and there's a lot of people. No, no. You frequently misplace things, yes. Always. Always. I'm sure I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. Yeah, not really. No, no, not really. Because it's because of my mental disorder, and I know I have the mental disorder. I know I'm not emotionally stable. I am for the most part, most of the time, but like I'm gonna go with that one. Because like I am for the most part, but I'm not emotionally stable, and I know I'm not. Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. Sometimes, yes. You would not call yourself a dreamer? Disagree. I am a huge dreamer. I am dreaming of becoming a huge YouTuber and helping people. I'd say I'm a dreamer. I'm a very big dreamer. I dream big, and it's probably not going to happen, but I'm still going to continue to dream big because I want to do good by other people. I usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of me. I do. I used to be able to, when I was in school, do plays and stuff, but that's not, I can't anymore. Not like that. Generally speaking, you rely more on your experience than your imagination. I rely a bit more on my experience than my imagination because I have experience. I have experienced things, and sometimes those experiences are actually the proper way to go than my imagination. But I do use my imagination sometimes too. It's probably a 50-50. I'm going to go with imagination. Because I do rely a lot on my imagination. Because, like, I'm thinking about YouTube right now. And, like, I go by my imagination and my choices. Like, what should I do today? Should I do gaming? Should I do something different? Like, today I chose this. And, like, it was just quick thinking imagination. It wasn't experience. It wasn't planning. It was just, I want to do this. And, it was like, I thought of doing this last night, and that's kind of where it came from. And, like, I'm going to just go to the next question. You worry too much about what other people think. I don't. I don't overly worry about what other people think. The only reason I do is, really for my channel, the only reason I worry about what other people think is I want to make the people that are subscribed to be happy. And I want to bring new people in because I want to be able to help people. So it kind of matters a little bit what other people think. But don't mind me. I don't worry too much about what other people think, but I worry a little. Oh yeah, if a room is full, yeah. If a room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. Agree. I don't care if I have to stand. Fuck that. You have a tendency to procrastinate. Yes. Yes. All the time. Anxious and stressful situations. Not really. You believe that it's more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. Rewarding wise, yes, it is more rewarding to be liked rather than to be powerful. Because even if you're powerful and you're not liked, like, if if you're liked by a few people, it's much more satisfying than if you have a lot of power. And I find that the old saying, you can catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, fits right in there very well. You've always been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things. Books, arts, or movies. Agree. I've always been. Always, 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 always. I mean, always. You often take initiative in social situations. No, I don't. I let other people handle it. Like, for example, if my friends and I, the four that I have, if we decide to go out and, like, oh, well, are we going to go hang at the park or are we going to hang at the house? I let other people make the decisions because it's just easier that way. The only time that I take initiative in social situations is, for example, in, like, more strenuous, dangerous situations. Like, the one night, me, Peanut Gallery, and our other roommate, we were driving home. We were about to leave and head back to the house, and it was getting dark out, and, like, nobody was sure who wanted to drive exactly, so I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll take care of it. And I'm glad I did because it started snowing, and at the time we had a bad tire, so we were kind of slipping and sliding all over the road, and I handle it better. At least better than Peanut Gallery. And in the dark, I would handle it better than our other roommate, so, I rarely do, but when I do, it's important. Oh, that is very different from what I got before. My personality type is mediator. I didn't even realize we were at the end of the test. Is an INFPA. No one can stop you from dreaming. I am more introverted than extroverted, and I knew that. Well, I think we all know that. Energy. This trait shows where we direct our mental energy, and I do it too intuitive, and I'm not surprised. It's 73%. I am still observant, but nature. This is how we make decisions and cope with emotions. I'm 59 to 41. I'm pretty in the middle, but I think more with my feelings sometimes, and I agree with that. I don't like it, but I agree with it. Tactics, how we approach work, plans, and decision making. I prospect. I don't judge and then do. I just prospect and just go for it. Identity, I'm more observant than turbulent. Really? Not by a lot, but really? I'm the mediator personality. I'm a diplomat. Confident individual. Mediator personalities are true idealists, always looking for the hint of good in even the worst of people and events, searching for ways to make things better. While they may be perceived as calm, reserved, or shy, mediators have an inner flame and passion that can truly shine. Compromising just 4% of the population, the risk of feeling misunderstood is unfortunately high from the mediator personality type. But when they find like-minded people to spend their time with, the harmony they feel will be a fountain of joy and inspiration. Definitely. That makes a lot of sense with me. Being a part of this group, we are guided by our principles rather than by logic, excitement, or practicality. When deciding how to move forward, they will look to honor beauty, morality, and virtue. I'm going to take a sip of my drink because my throat is starting to get dry. I don't know if I'm getting sick or what. Where was I? When deciding how to morality and virtue, mediators are led by the purity of their intent, not rewards or punishments. Yeah. The purity of, yeah, that's why I do a lot of the things I do, because I think I'm doing a good, and I want to do a lot of good. People who share the mediator personality type are proud of this quality, and rightly so, but not everyone understands the drive behind these feelings, and it can lead to isolation, which it does. All that is gold does not glitter. All those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. That is J.R.R. Tolkien. We know what we are, but not what we may be. At their best, these qualities enable mediators to communicate deeply with others, easily speaking in metaphors and parables, and understanding and creating symbols to share their ideas. Fantasy worlds in particular fascinate mediators, which they do. I'm making a whole sleeve out of fantasy worlds on my arm. I mean, come on. More than any other personality type. The strength of their visionary communication style lends itself well to creative works like YouTube and writing, and it comes as no surprise that many famous mediators are poets, writers, and actors. Speaking of which, after a hack up along, mediators have a talent for self-expression, revealing their beauty and their secrets through metaphors and fictional characters. Listen to many, but talk to few. Shakespeare, Tolkien, Bjork, Johnny Depp, Julia Roberts, Lisa. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I know who she is. Loki, Tom Hiddleston himself, Alicia Keys, Frodo, Anne of Green Gables, somebody from the X-Files. She looks. I don't know who she is. Another Lord of the Rings character. Downton Abbey character. Somebody from Bones. I'm going to try to pronounce people's names. Okay, so going back, Fox Mulder, X-Files, Amelie Bouliane from Amelie, Arwen from The Lord of the Rings, Sybil from Downton Abbey, Lance Sweets from Bones, and then Constantine Levin from Anna Karenina. Listen to many people, but talk to few. If they are not careful, mediators can lose themselves in their quest for good and neglect the day-to-day upkeep that life demands. I do that all the time. I go into hermit mode all the time. It happens all the time. All the time. Strengths: idealistic, value and harmony, open-minded and flexible, very creative, passionate and energetic, dedicated and hardworking. But too idealistic, too altruistic, impractical, dislikes dealing with data, takes things personally, and difficult to get to know. Because, very private, quiet person. Well, not exactly private, I'm just quiet. Love all, trust few, do wrong to none. I like that. Sincere belief in the idea of relationships. That two people can come together and make each other better and happier than they were alone. That makes sense. Better 3 hours too soon than a minute too late. I have gotten this to a place literally like an hour earlier than I should have, and then the next week I got there a minute late. And I was mad at myself for the minute late. I wasn't mad at myself for being early. The true friends of people with the mediator personality type tend to be few and far between, but those that make the cut are often friends for life, which is very true. Two of my friends, I have been friends with them for 10 years. Another one I have been friends with for going on 23 years here. Another one is fairly new, but we're like this. Actually, there's two of them that are like that. We are like this. And I have a feeling that they're going to be lifetime. How poor are they that they have no patience? That's yeah. Even as friendships go stronger and deeper, friends are lulled into a sense of mutual understanding. Mediators' enactment qualities will never truly vanish. Parenthood, which I don't plan on doing. But mediators never stop encouraging their children to learn and grow. They consider it their duty to inspire and motivate them, both by using their sensitivity and intuition to speak in their children's language and by leading the way themselves. I've always done that with my siblings. I've always tried to understand them the best that I can. I always encourage them, you want to do this? Go for it. I'll be right here for you. I'll help you any way I can. That's just always how I've been. But I don't agree with this. They take their responsibilities and parenthood seriously, and this is the measure above all others. They're harsh. If their kids fuck up, they're harsh, and I don't agree with that. I don't. If the kids were to, for example, if they were to, If something happened and they weren't able to do it, I'd be like, that's okay, we'll find you something new. Are you sure you don't want her to do it? Okay, we'll find something new, kind of thing. Careers. Most any idea or field can benefit from the artful, natural expression that the mediator brings to the table. Mediators have their pick of the world in choosing who they work with. If to do were as easy as to know what we were good to do. Mediators not thrive in high stress, team heavy, busy environments. Mediators need to be able to work with creativity and consideration. High pressure salespeople, they are not. It can be a challenge to avoid these roles as they are the basis for so much starting work. It's often a risk to break away into something less dependable but more rewarding. To find a career that resonates with the mediator's values, though, that's more than just a job. Sometimes it's just what needs to be done. Which I'm going to completely agree with that because I can't handle high stress, team heavy business environments. I can't. I've tried. I can't do it. But YouTube, I'm 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 breaking away into something less dependable but more rewarding. Because I'm taking that chance that, if things do go good, it's going to be really rewarding. If they don't, oh well, that's life. I don't have much choice. But, it needs to be done. I want to help people, and that's the only way I can do it, and it needs to be done. Mediators in the workplace. If it isn't worth doing, it isn't really worth doing, and I find YouTube worth doing, and that's my sense of work right now. Is like I'm working on YouTube, and I don't have another thing that I want to do right now that I can handle. Colleagues, managers, how a mediator personality works. Conclusion. Few personality types are as poetic and kind-hearted as mediators. Their altruism and vivid imagination allow mediators to overcome many challenging obstacles, more often than not brighten the lives of those around them. Mediators' creativity is invaluable in many areas, including their own personal growth. Yet mediators can easily be tripped up in areas where idealism and altruism are more of a liability than an asset. Whether it's finding or keeping a partner, making friends, reaching dazzling heights on the career ladder, or planning for the future, mediators need to put in a conscious effort to develop their weaker traits and additional skills. What you've read so far is just an introduction to the complex concept that is the mediator personality type. I read you guys an introduction. This is an introduction, apparently. So they're just letting us know about like a premium profile if you want to like this is the end of it. This is their conclusion. If I wanted to do more, I could get a premium profile and actually work on it from what I'm understanding. But so yeah, I am an INFP, which makes me a mediator because I am the INFPA. I don't know what the A and T mean. I know each one means something like important. Like I know I is an introvert, but that's about all I know about it. Like with the lettering, but that's where I'm at now, and that was not me before. Me before was logician. The unexamined life is not worth living. Brilliant theories, unrelenting logic. I have changed a lot. A lot. In the past 6 months, I have changed a lot. I used to be like Bill Gates, Ellen Page, Kirsten Stewart, Albert Einstein, Rene Descartes, Blaise Pascal, Isaac Newton, Stanley Crouch, somebody from Game of Thrones, another person from Game of Thrones, Neo from The Matrix, Alexander Mahone from Prison Break, Marshall Flinkman from Alias, Chloe O'Brien from 24, did Leslie Winkle from The Big Bang Theory, and then somebody from Community, which I don't actually watch. But I've changed a lot. My personality has changed a lot, and I think that's because I'm actually maturing as a person. I went from being an analyst to a diplomat. And before, I think it was because I put so much center into, but The only thing that really changed was INTP to INFP. I think I was still negative A before. Whatever that means. But I changed a little bit in the past 6 months. I didn't change a lot, I changed a little bit. But like going down this particular set of list, INTP, INFP, ISFJ, ISFP, I feel like I'd be similar to all four of them. Because look at the adventure. They paint. I change during the course of the day. I wake and I am one person. And when I go to sleep, I know for certain I am somebody else. They're adventurers. Maybe someday this is how I'll feel. Maybe someday I will grow even further into this. Into a person who's finally just like relaxed with how they are. Maybe I'll stay as I am. Maybe I'll go back to being a magician. Maybe I'll become a defender. They are very dedicated and warm people, which I am as well. In certain situations, love only grows by sharing. You can only have more for yourself by giving it away to others. Defenders are true altruists, meaning kindness with kindness and excess, and engaging the work and people they believe in with enthusiasm and generosity. I love these I love this test. This is actually really cool. Like, this is really neat. I'm actually going to put this in the comments below. And that's all the time I have, guys, for this. And I actually spent a lot more time, I think, than I wanted to. But, you know, I wanted you guys to get the chance to check this out and see exactly how cool this test is. And how much I personally have changed from before I started this channel to now. You know what I mean? And I've gone from being one type of person to another. I've gone from being a little more stiff upper lip about stuff, like, you know, very, not stiff upper lip, but a little more rigid with stuff. I've become a little more relaxed. You know? And it's nice. It's a nice thing to look at. It really is. And I think you guys should give it a shot. But that's all the time I have for today, guys. So thank you so much for watching this. If you liked it, let me know down in the comments below. I will be leaving the link to this in the description below, along with my GoFundMe, because I am trying to raise money for an actual gaming computer, because there are actually quite a few games that I can't play right now because this computer can't handle them. So thank you guys, and I will see all you wonderful, magical, amazing people in the next video. Bye!